MidiBro 1.4 is here and gives you 4 major improvements. Before we show this, first a lightning fast walkthrough. If you don't know MidiBro, this app helps you to organize and preview your MIDI file library. Use it to scan folders, browse and preview files visually. For instance, let's grab a folder, drop it into MidiBro. You see we have the folder here with subfolders, and you can browse through the subfolders, see the MIDI patterns, the names and so on. And you can quickly preview your files, for instance, with a connected plugin to your DAW. On the right hand, we have a more detailed view with a larger piano roll to preview, and we have also possibilities to transform your note, for instance, generate variations from your original file, choose an algorithm, hit generate, and you have 3 variations in here. We also have the possibilities to split MIDI files. You have a multi-channel file here with 3 channels, and we can drag the 3 channels separately in our DAW to our DAW. We have a drum mapping editor. Makes no sense here for chord progressions, but you can map one drum to another drum. And we have a key shift feature. That means you can transform your notes, for instance, to A minor. Let's turn it off. And last not least, we have the chord fit options, kind of auto-tune your melodies to a chord progression here in the upper panel and your melody in the lower panel, and it always sounds right. Yeah, that's a very quick walkthrough through MidiBro. Download a free demo, try everything with no time limit, and now let's go ahead and step forward to see the new functions in the version 1.4. So let's go to our first feature. We can loop regions now. Clean up MidiBro a little bit and have a look at the setup. So as audio output, we have plugin in DAW activated here, and in our DAW Bitwig on the first track we have located our MidiBro plugin here in front of synthesizers. Let's choose a chord progression. Go to this folder, pick a right one. This one looks interesting, and we already have defined a loop region here, and we can drag the boundary markers or just draw a new loop region. And once we are happy, we can just hit play, and it's perfectly looping. To get it into our DAW, we just drag it here, and you see, delete this one, only the loop region is available, so we can use it for further processing. Just double click on a boundary to remove the loop region. That's it. Okay, let's go to our second feature, and this is really my favorite one. In the previous versions of MidiBro, this function was called multi-track split, and it was able to split your multi-channel file into separate files. For instance, if you have a full song and you want to extract only the piano or the strings or whatever. But now we have extended the function, and it works something like this. So let's first grab a chord progression we already know from the feature before, hit play. Very nice Rhodes piano, very nice chord progression. And before we go on, let's have a look at the setup in our DAW. So here we have at the first track, our MidiBro track, the MidiBro connector plugin. So far so good. And then we have an instrument layer that splits every MIDI channel to a separate diva preset. For instance, first channel is a channel filter here and assigned to a Rhodes preset. This one filters channel 2, and this one filters channel 3, turn up preset of diva, and channel 4 for belts. And let's open the split MIDI window, and you see immediately by Chords is auto-detected, and the original file is now split into two voices, upper notes and lower notes. And we can also use 3 voices, then we have 3 separations. So let's go ahead with 4 voices to make it sound better. Give it some kick drum and hit play. Sounds much more rich and beautiful. From my point of view, the track is already finished. So you can drag any single voice into your DAW. So we only have the upper notes here. Let's have a look. Here you see only the high range notes. And stop the kick drum. And we have in the channel mixer, you see the separations, you have the 4 channel cards here, and this is not the only thing we can do with this split MIDI function. We can also use it for drums. So let's choose a drum pattern here. First we have to move our plugin to a track with a drum machine. Let's put it before a 909 drum rack. And hit play. Let's do the drum move. Great. Open split MIDI window, hit by drum, and you see the original file here. And in the channel mixer you see the separate drum lanes: bass drum, side stick, hand clap, open hi-hat, and so on. And on the right hand you can use the GM standard drum mapping, but you can also choose any drum mapping from the drum mapping MidiBro feature. You see the separate cards here, so you can drag any one of them into your DAW, and you can also solo them. So let's solo bass drum. Now add hi-hat and the clap. And side stick. Yes, let's go to the third feature. I was asked by many users to implement some speed control, and now we have it. It works something like this one. First, let's choose a chord progression here and hit play. So far so good. So we have here in the top bar our speed shifts, 2 times faster, or some slow, half speed. We can also adjust the global tempo of all files, for instance to 95 BPM. Let's hit 1 time. So far so good, but we can also right click on any file and change the BPM directly, for instance to any value you like, in case it's not correct. So far so good, so easy. Now we have speed control. Bloody how time flies. Now we've come to the 4th feature, and this is more or less not some exciting stuff, but very handy. I was asked by many users to incorporate more file operation and organizational features, and now we have something like this one. You can right click on a file and you can also rename the file, and it's directly renamed in MidiBro in your hard drive, and you can also delete a file if you don't want it here. And you can not only do it with one file, but also with multiple files. You can click them and you can change BPM for multiple selected files or delete them. This is a great improvement. Furthermore, we can drag and drop now external single files to any folder in MidiBro. So here we have it. And we can also copy files within MidiBro, so it gets more and more like a real explorer or finder. But not ending with this, we have improved something more. For instance, if you have a collection here, a melody collection, you sometimes find some percussion files in it. And although we can configure it here, for instance, melody, and we have the exclude drums toggle, and it works quite well because it filters because of the file name. It contains bass or snare or hi-hat and some algorithmic detections. It does not work very good in practice because sometimes drum files are very similar to melody files. For this, we have added a new function called Mark as Drum. Hit right-click on any folder and choose Mark as Drums, and you see this red icon here. And now all the files in this folder and subfolders are excluded from any collection. This means this particular folder here is now not listed in any collections for keys or your smart collections, for instance, melodies or chord progressions. And furthermore, to make your life much easier with file handling, we have introduced filters of columns, and it works like this. For instance, if you have your collections here, all your files, and let's make some more plays. We have the columns tempo, key and bars here, and you see the little filter icon here. You can click on it and you can define a range or an exact value, for instance 78 BPM, apply it, and then only files with 78 BPM are listed. You can clear the filter, and you can also filter by any musical key, for instance A minor applied. You only have files that contain A minor in it. And the same for the length of the file in bars, for instance. You can also choose from the chips here, for instance 4 to 16 bars applied, and then you have only files in this duration range. So nothing really exciting, but really useful. Yeah, that's it. MidiBro 1.4. To summarize the new features, now we can loop a region and drag it directly into our DAW. And with the extended split MIDI function, we can extract voicings from chord progressions or assign them to different MIDI channels for better sounding. And you also can extract single drum instruments from your drum pattern. MidiBro now has speed controls to better match your project tempo, and with the Mark Drum option you can reduce the noise from your collections to easily find melodies, chord progressions or bass lines. Last not least, we have some useful file operations like BPM adjustment, renaming or deletion in batch processing. All new features were inspired by you. And in case you missed something or you have an idea, let me know in the YouTube comments or contact me through the homepage. Happy MIDI discovery. Bye!